What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to share a story with you guys about me making a fool of myself. Oh, Joe, come on! I mean, for real, you be making a fool of yourself every day, though. I do. Folks, I made a big old fool of myself just recently. It's probably something that I do more often than I realize, but I want to share this story with you guys because I think that you might find this entertaining. This story takes place on last Friday, the Friday that just passed. And on this Friday, it was date night for me and my wife. And before I go any further, I want to say something real quick. Sunday, I uploaded a video where it was just me and Danny basically riding around in the car, where I took him to the bank so he could get the money order that he needed to be able to pay his rent. Special shout out to Danny for holding down his responsibilities. I did have further plans to be able to go back to Danny's place and film some more videos with him. However, I wouldn't be able to do that because my wife called me crying, and she was really, really sick and in a lot of pain. I literally had to drop Danny off and rushed back to check on my wife and see if she needed to go to the hospital. And I'm not exactly sure whether or not she really should have gone to the hospital. She wouldn't end up going to the hospital. She just didn't want to go, and she would end up just being laid up for basically the entire day, where she really just couldn't walk. Every time that she moved, it hurt. And she's on all sorts of medication for this upcoming procedure that we've got coming up that eventually I will be telling you guys about. But the reason I bring this up is I just want to give a real special shout out to each and every one of you who showed concern during that video that was really about Danny for my wife. So to all of you who did show that concern, thank you very much. She is okay. She's feeling a lot better. And trust and believe me when I tell you that next month is going to be a crazy month. It really is. But Friday would be date night for me and my wife, and we would end up going to a hockey game. We've got a local team here called the Norfolk Admirals. We went a lot last season watching them play. They're not very good, but it's just a cool experience to be able to go to these hockey games, see these guys play. Usually it ends up with a whole lot of goals being scored against our local team. But no matter whether they win or they lose, it's exciting to be able to go to these games because a lot of times they just get the bung, 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 bung right there on the ice. So, you know, a lot of times it's not even really like you're at a hockey game. It's more like you're going to see UFC on ice. But regardless, this is something that me and my wife like to do. So on this past Friday night for date night, we ended up at this hockey game. And you know, because this hockey team is really not that good at all, usually when you go here, there's not very many people in the arena. I think this place holds something like 10 to 15, 20,000 people at most. It probably doesn't even hold 20,000. It probably only holds like 10. And a lot of times when you go to these games, this place is dead. And this past Friday night, there was probably less than 1,000 people who were at this game. So we're at the game again. This place is absolutely dead. We eat dinner at this arena. I get like 3 beers throughout the entire course of the night. And mind you, a beer at this place cost $9. In fact, if I can remember correctly, I think every single thing here cost $9 or more. One little cup of beer, $9. Some nachos, $9. A pulled pork barbecue sandwich, which I ate for dinner. Guess what? $9. And just to go ahead and throw this in here as well, I would end up getting some cotton candy, a funnel cake, a candy bar. Old Joe, straight fat boy status. But I mention all of this to you because I don't even really want to think about how much I spent at this game. It was probably upwards of $100+. However, there would come an opportunity where I would try to recoup all of that money that I had spent thus far. Because you see, one awesome thing that they do at these hockey games is they've got these ushers who walk around with these raffle tickets, and they say the same thing every single Friday or Saturday night or Wednesday. I found out they've got hockey games on Wednesday as well. But these ushers walk around with these fistfuls of raffle tickets, yelling out the same thing every single time. 50-50 here. 50-50, 50-50. I know these aren't raffle tickets. These are chains. This is After Prison Show, for God's sake. This is Thug Life for life. And I mean, this was the closest thing I could get to imitate like some raffle. 50-50 here. 50-50. Now, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I've got a bit of a gambling problem. So anytime there's an opportunity where I could potentially win some money, I'm all in. And I don't care what it is. We could be playing Madden for... Actually, no, it would never be a video game. I am horrible. I'm horrible at video games. But I like to gamble. And as these ushers were walking around this past Friday night with these raffle tickets, screaming out the same thing that they always scream out, 50-50 here. And you know, I just gotta be honest with you guys, I was feeling lucky. I was thinking about that Mega Balls $1.5 billion lottery jackpot that somebody just hit down in South Carolina. And real quick, did you guys hear about this? This sole winner had 2 options. They could either take the lump sum payout of over $900 million, or they could receive that money in monthly installments of over $4 million a month, probably for the rest of their life. $4 million a month. How you gonna spend all that money? I don't know why this 50-50 raffle was reminding me of this Mega Balls jackpot. Maybe I was thinking to myself, man, I really should have played that thing. I didn't. I guess I really don't have that much of a gambling problem if I didn't. Folks, I was feeling lucky, and that's all I'm trying to say. I was feeling lucky. As I was watching this usher walking by with these tickets, I called him over and I said, Mr. 50-50 raffle man, give me every single ticket that you have that I can get for this $15. Cold cash in my pocket. $15, folks, that was all the money that I had on my person. In my pockets. Now, as I was thinking about spending every last dollar that I had in my pockets, this whole $15, I was also doing some very quick math. And I want to mention something real quick. You know, I oftentimes laugh about the fact that I'm not very good at math, but folks, I need to tell you something. I only do that just plain. You know, I'm not too shabby when it comes to math. In fact, I'm able to think on the fly in a lot of situations. And on this past Friday night, with Mr. 50-50 Raffle Man walking around with them red raffle tickets, I was doing the equation right there in my head. There was less than 1,000 people in this entire arena. Of those less than 1,000 people in this arena, how many people actually have cash money in their pocket? Let's just go ahead and throw out a number like maybe half, maybe 400 people, maybe 500 people. And of those 400 or 500 people that potentially probably have cold hard cash money in their pockets, how many are actually going to play this 50-50 raffle? Probably like something less than half of those 400 or 500 people, maybe like two. I've totally confused myself trying to do this equation. But I realized the odds were probably highly in my favor. Is there going to be anybody else in here who's got a gambling problem such as I and is going to be willing to wager an entire $15 to win this 50-50 raffle? I think not. So I knew I had a pretty good chance of winning. And again, folks, I got to remind you, I had that feeling. I had that good luck feeling. I knew as soon as I handed that usher that $15 in cash, I knew I had already won. This man handed me back so many raffle tickets. I don't know how I ended up with so many. Maybe they were only 50 cents a piece. 50-50, 50 cents. I don't know. I had a lot of raffle tickets, and as I was holding those, I was thinking to myself, I don't even got to look at these. I know I already won. I think it's all throughout the first and second period they try to raffle off these tickets. And I know it's at the beginning of the third period where they announce the winner. Folks, let me tell you something. That third period came around, and I was just waiting. I was so eager. I was like, why they ain't read my winning number yet? We 5 minutes into the period. We 7 minutes into did we miss it? Did we miss it? Hey, you, way up there. Hey. Did they read the winning number? I got these. It wasn't really that dramatic, but I was definitely eagerly anticipating them revealing the winner of this raffle. And folks, that time, it would eventually come. I don't remember exactly when it was. It was probably something like halfway through the third period. Now, folks, these are 6-number raffle tickets. And again, mind you, I had a whole bunch of these tickets. So what I did was I remembered the first 2 numbers and the last 2 numbers of the first ticket and the first 2 numbers and the last 2 numbers of the last ticket. And I just knew doing that, well, if I can remember the first ticket and the last ticket, whenever they read this number, I'll immediately know right then whether I won or I lost. And I already knew I was gonna win. There was nobody here. They read the winning numbers. They displayed them up on the big screen TV right there. And folks, when I tell you that I knew it, I had that feeling. I absolutely knew that I won. It's an impossible feeling to try to describe. They displayed that number right there on the Megatron. 36, 84, 75. I knew my tickets were between like 60 and 80 something. I knew I hit it. 36, 84, 70. Woo! I won! I won! Look at all these tickets. I spent $15. I won! Woo! Did you buy a raffle ticket? I know you did because I won! I won! Folks, it was the most incredible feeling in my life. I have never won anything before. How many of you have ever felt this way? You've never won anything and then all of a sudden, right there on the Megatron, you see that you are a winner. Folks, I was going absolutely crazy. So much, in fact, that the cameraman took the kiss cam and put it right there on me. God, I won! I'm a winner! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Look at all these tickets, I'm a winner! And I know some of you are probably thinking to yourself, well, Joe, how much money did you win? Folks, the jackpot, the payout was $177. And just to keep it absolutely funky with you guys, when I saw that 36, 84, 75 winning number with that $177 payout right there, folks, I was ready to quit YouTube. I was done. Friday night, I was done with YouTube. I was ready to go buy a plane ticket, go to Vegas, and get on the poker table. That's how lucky I was feeling. And you know, the entire time that I'm going absolutely ham turkey bone bananas in this arena, people are looking back at me. Some of them are kind of nodding at me like, good for you. Is that your husband? Hey, sit down, don't nobody care. Sit down. There were some people who were happy for me. There were others who were absolutely disgusted with me. They didn't even know who I was. How dare you? Can I have my moment? And you know, with the fact that I was just completely overboard, absolutely obnoxious. With this realization that I had won, you're probably thinking to yourself, and Joe, I can just imagine what your wife was doing. She was probably like super embarrassed. She wasn't. And in fact, she was super happy for me. When I finally did sit down because I was so out of breath, she told me, she said, what are you doing? Don't sit down, go get that money. God, I gotta be honest with y'all, I love my wife. Folks, I picked up those raffle tickets and I needed to find that winning number. 36, 84, 75. Wait a minute. Oh no. You know, the damnedest thing about it is I had 36. I had 75. Hell, I had the 8 from the 84. The winning number was 36, 84, 75. My ticket said 36, 82, 75. And you know, just as quickly as I was feeling like I was a winner, I was so just overwhelmed with the fact that I had won. I'd never won anything before in my life. If you've ever won something, you've probably felt the exact same way. But have you ever thought that you won something, only to realize that you didn't win? Folks, that feeling of I've never won anything before in my life immediately transformed like a transformer, like Bumblebee in that little yellow and black Camaro. It immediately changed from I've never won anything in my life, yeah, to I can't never win nothing. I never win. Oh my God, I don't never win. Life ain't fair. How? Folks, they had the kiss cam on me, for God's sakes. I was up there doing the Kiki challenge. And you know, if hindsight is 20/20, I realize something now looking back on this entire experience, almost like reliving this and watching myself and just being even that much more embarrassed. Forget the actual moment. Forget being in that actual moment. Looking back on this is even more embarrassing because what I realize now is, as I was going absolutely crazy, just knowing that I had won, I was looking over about a section away from me and I watched somebody get up and slowly make their way toward the exit. The same place you would go if you had just hit those winning numbers. And you know what? They weren't making a big scene about it. They were doing it very discreetly, but I saw them and it registered in my head right then. Where's that person going? And maybe it wasn't the winning numbers that they had. Maybe they just needed a refill on their Sprite. Actually, Sierra missed. They don't sell Sprite at this arena. I don't even understand that. Maybe they just needed a refill on their soda, or maybe they had to use the bathroom. But you know, there's also the very good possibility that they did have that winning number. And they were probably trying to get out of there as discreetly as they possibly could, all the while looking over at me, waving raffle tickets around my head like they were a helicopter, and probably not thinking to themselves, that guy's an idiot. They were probably thinking to themselves, well, thank you, kind sir. Thank you for taking the attention off of me, because it is me, in fact, who does have that winning raffle ticket with a grand prize jackpot of $177. I made a fool of myself. And surely it won't be the last time. Surely it's not the first time neither. But you know, as I was telling this story to Dave this morning, you know, he brought up a really good point. He really did. He said to me, he said, you know, Joe, you're lucky. You're lucky I wasn't there because I would have embarrassed you even further. Getting up screaming, hey, did you go claim that winning raffle ticket yet? Everybody! He don't got the winning ticket. He thought he had it, but he ain't got it. Dave did tell me he would have done that had he been there. Thank God he wasn't. But he also brought up a more important point, and that was, You know, I spent $15 on those raffle tickets. The grand prize was $177. Surely that would have paid off that $15 that I spent on those raffle tickets in the first place, and those $9 beers, nachos, cotton candy, and funnel cakes and everything else that I was eating, as a fat boy would at a hockey game. But even though I didn't win, and even though I would end up making a fool of myself, you know, just being in a situation where you can have that feeling, for as briefly as it might be, that winning feeling, that feeling that you have won, that feeling right there is surely worth more than that $177 jackpot. In fact, it might be priceless. I might have made a fool of myself this past Friday night, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It was date night with my wife. And forget that winning feeling, just spending that time with my wife, that was priceless. To be able to make a fool out of myself at the same time and also have a story that I can share with all of you about just that, that's also a really good thing as well. Hey, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!